When it comes to inclusive leadership, we need to be really wise. It doesn't mean giving a space and also giving the mic to everyone.
Have you ever sat in a meeting, bursting with a lot of brilliant ideas, but instead you keep silent because you weren't sure if your voice mattered? Many people live in that moment, maybe including you. That's why we have the podcast here to start the conversation, talking about the inclusive leadership that could change that. Hi everyone, welcome back to this podcast where we dive into real stories and honest conversations about what it really means to lead inclusivity. I'm Diana, and my co-host here,
I'm Vicky.
and I'm really excited to talk with our speaker here, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, hi Diana.
Welcome.
It's nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Nice to have
Yeah,
you too.
yeah, pleasure.
So, just to give you a short introduction about Matt, Matt is a leader that has been working across 5 different countries, even more than 5 countries, right?
Yeah,
And
true.
you're a polyglot. You
Yeah.
speak 4 language. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
and
that.
he also has led incredibly diverse team across different cultures, industry,
Yep.
right?
True.
So welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you so
Are you
much for
excited?
having me here. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
pleasure
so
to be
let's
here. Yeah.
jump right in.
Yeah.
Can you share a bit about your leadership journey, how inclusive leadership has shaped your leadership style?
Yeah, of course. So thank you very much for having me here. I hope that my experience would be helpful for those who are really care about the inclusive leadership. Actually, during my career journey, I have been leading teams from multinational groups in different continents. So I was a leader in Senegal in a company which we established there, which it was in charge of importation of FMCG products. So we had a team from different backgrounds and different nationalities. We had from Senegal, from Lebanon, from Iran, from France, and from USA. So we can see that a combination of different cultures and different backgrounds. So me as the leader of the team, at beginning, I believe that leadership is all about just leading and dictating what I think it's the best and suits the best for the organization. But through the time, I studied more during my leadership and I experienced more. So my conclusion was that once you give the deck to those who normally they cannot speak, sometimes you will hear and you will learn from those which you do not expect. So I will give you an example. So at the beginning, I was trying to shape our distribution channel for our goods. So we had our warehouse manager, operation manager, me, our sales manager. So, but once I asked one of our team members, which was from Gambia, to give his opinion regarding how we should make this distribution channel more effective. He was just a normal, worker at the warehouse, but he came up with an idea that instead of just focusing on internal channels for distribution, we can focus on warm distribution. What did it mean? It means that he suggested that we can load trucks with our goods, we can send it to outer stations and just sell it as cash pay. So uh, actually, I didn't have it in mind. I said, okay, let's try it. So by doing that, we could actually increase our sales revenue by 35%. So that is how sometimes maybe if you just focus on leaders or managers and you don't give the mic to the rest of the team, you might not always get the whole idea. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's quite powerful, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just curious. Is there any moment where you think inclusive leadership actually made a real difference? Can you mind share with us what happened and what is the outcome?
Yeah, the example which I just shared with you regarding how it could increase our sales by 35% at the revenue, So it's just an example of how sometimes it can be really helpful. So it's all about being inclusive at the right time and at the right moment. So I need to emphasize on that. Yeah, yeah,
So man, just to play devil's advocate over here, right?
yeah,
We know that inclusive leadership isn't always easy.
yeah.
So there's challenges to it, right?
Of course, yeah.
As I said, no. So could you mind sharing with us any challenges that you might encounter?
Yeah,
And if those challenges, were you able to overcome them?
yeah.
And please share with us any
Of
samples for
course.
our viewers, you know?
Yeah, of course, of course. So when it comes to inclusive leadership, we need to be really wise. It doesn't mean giving a space and also giving the mic to everyone at every time. You as the leader, you need to be really careful of how and when you let people talk. That's why you are the leader. It doesn't mean that you should be, passive. You just sit there and just give everybody the opportunity to speak at no matter time. So that's the really important part. That once after this, the experience, I was younger and I was new into management during that time. So I asked our staff, all of them, to be in a very important meeting which we had with one of our important clients. So one of our staffs, they just opened up a discussion which it really affected the whole journey of that negotiation. So I needed to cover it up, and then I needed to talk to the distributor in private in order to, fix it. So that's why you as the leader, you need to know sometimes by experience that you gain, you will understand that how and when you should let this opportunity to your team members to speak up, and when you need to be in control and have things
Agreed.
under
Yeah,
control. Yeah,
I really
yeah,
agree to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
it's very great point of view.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's very important point as well. So I'm just curious, like not all the time inclusive leadership will works, right?
yeah,
So what's the moment that you know, okay, this is the right timing, it's a good moment
yeah,
for the inclusive leadership, and
yeah.
when you think that, oh, I don't think the inclusive leadership is suitable for this
Yeah, yeah.
situation.
Normally, based on my experience, during the time-sensitive decisions which you need to take, normally you cannot use that. Inclusive leadership, because sometimes you don't have the time and you don't have the opportunity to have it. So that's why you need to make decisions really fast. So that's why normally inclusive leadership, in my opinion, in those scenarios, it cannot be the best case. That's when you as a leader, you need to decide by yourself. So inclusive leadership for me is more into a strategic part, when you need to hear different opinions. It's not just about using those opinions in all the ways, but it's for the leader just to hear. Because if you want to be in one direction and just listen to yourself or just the managers, then you might not hear all the voices. Maybe there is a good point of view which you have not seen it. So that's why, in my opinion, you need to use it in the right time and the right place. Yeah,
Okay, thank
yeah,
you, great.
We
yeah,
have heard this before, right? In classes, our like professor
Yeah.
used to say,
yeah.
it depends on the situation. That
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Something that we're hearing that quite often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
true.
feel very relatable with your story as well.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for being open and sharing your
no
experience to
worries.
us. I
Happy
think
to
it's
help.
very insightful, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people that listen to this podcast will feel connected to what you share to us.
yeah,
And just to give us quick wrap up.
Just
Yeah.
before you end this
Hmm?
podcast, Diana, I think one of the things that Matt frequently point out is inclusive leadership is not suitable for every scenarios, correct? Yeah.
correct.
As a,
Yeah,
as a good leader, you need to know when you have to implement this style, when you
yeah,
have not need to implement this style. I think that's a very good point, Matt, you have highlighted during
yeah.
this podcast. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to
Yeah.
add, Vicky?
Maybe before Diana wrap it up, right? Maybe Matt, could you help answer me a quick rapid fire question?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just
Of
prepared a few
course.
simple ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So It may be yes or no. It should be
Yeah.
doable. Is inclusive leadership important in today's workplace?
Of course.
Okay. Does inclusive leadership help improve team collaboration?
Yes.
Can inclusive leadership boost employees' motivation?
Of course.
Okay. Is being inclusive only the leader's responsibility?
No.
No. Okay, got it. Okay, the last one, yeah. Does inclusive leadership always work in every situation?
No.
No. So
Of course.
depends.
Yeah, depends.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So Diana?
Okay, okay, thank you so much. So, thank you once again for sharing.
thank you for
It's
having
very
me.
interesting. Your story is
I
very
hope it's helpful.
insightful as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone, if you ever felt like your voice didn't matter, remember, it does. Inclusive leadership starts with small actions that create big impact. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.